How can I calculate slope of a proportional relationship and write an equation in y equals mx form? First, let's talk about a proportional relationship being a graph here. It's always going to start at the origin, and it can be represented as a line that increases at a constant rate, or that increases at a constant rate is a proportional relationship. So with this, we can draw a triangle. And you can see here there's one little one already drawn. It goes up 2 and over 1, representing our rise over our run. So up 2 would be the top, the numerator. Over 1 would be our denominator, which is our slope, or m. So m equals 2 over 1, which equals 2 in this case. Now, the slope is the same with any triangle. So if I were to draw another triangle where I go up from here, and say I connect to this point. So if I go up here, I end up rising 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I go over here, I run, oh, wrong color. Let's use blue for this. And so I go over from here, 1, 2, so I go over 2. Up 4 over 2 means my slope is going to be 4 over 2, which if I simplify or do 4 divided by 2, it is equal to 2. And you can see here that the slope is the same with any triangle that you draw, whether it's this little one or a big one or another little one. Anywhere on the proportional relationship, the slope will always be the same. So that's how I can calculate slope. Now, how do I write an equation in the form y equals mx? So here's some data about someone who's working a job. And in their job, for 2 hours, they were paid $15. 3 hours were paid $22.50. 4 hours were paid $30. So we can kind of plot some of these points. You would assume at 0 hours, they make $0. That makes it a proportional relationship going through the origin. At 2 hours, you go up to 15. You can plot a point right here. At 3 hours, you could do $22.50, or at 4 hours, you could do 30. I'm going to do 4 hours to 30 because that's just a bit easier to graph. And when we draw this line here, obviously my graph is not that great, and this line is sketched, so it's not really that straight. But the line should kind of go straight line through here. Now, I can calculate my slope, or my m value, by doing rise over run, which is going to be green up. So I can go up from 15 to 30, and that's an increase of 15. And my run goes over from 2 to 4, so that's an increase of 2. So it's 15 over 2 is my m value. M equals 15 over 2, which if you reduce this, it would equal, you divide 15 by 2, it's $7.50 for 1 hour. So $7.50 in 1 hour is how much we would make here. So when we go to write this in y equals mx form, we just take this and substitute in for m. And you simply say y equals 750 times x, or 750x. And this equation we wrote is represented by that line. And now this is how you would write it in y equals mx form. You just calculate the slope and replace m with the slope, and you leave y and x the same.